Mystic Michaela spiritual family. Welcome to Know Your Aura with Mystic Michaela. Today we are talking about celebrity aura news. All the celebrity news you wanted to know about, but in aura color. And I am here with celebrity popologist, popular columnist, gossip celebritist, Scotty. Hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys. Well, this week, I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little bit behind on my pop culture.
Okay.
Because I have been spending so much of my time watching the Mormon wives.
Yes.
I'm not even gonna call them Mormon wives. The wives.
Right.
Okay. I don't think they're Mormon anymore.
Right.
I did the first season. Now I don't. But
okay.
I've been spending so much time with that show that I feel I'm behind on all the other things pop culture that normally I would know about.
Yeah, normally you do.
Normally I would. But all right. So this is interesting.
Yes.
Let's start this segment. We're going to call it They Did What?
They did what?
They did what?
What?
What did they do?
What?
Okay.
If we had a bigger budget,
Yes.
I would love to have some sort of audio intro to this random segment.
Right.
They did what?
Okay. So what did they do? Well, and this is just on the piece of paper, people, that I'm reading.
I just give Scott an outline.
Yeah.
Wait, you're the celebrity popologist.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Well, this week I'm behind.
Right.
Okay. So we have, Hugh Jackman is up first. Now, this is interesting. I did actually see this.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching the Today Show.
Yeah.
And Hugh Jackman, they did a segment on him, and he was just doing jumping jacks after jumping.
He was jump roping.
Jump roping. He was jump roping, and he was like doing a whole routine with a jump rope.
It was amazing.
An amazing routine.
A physical feat.
And all the people on the Today Show, even including Al, were just in awe of this
Fawning
man.
over him.
Fawning over. Savannah was drooling.
Drooling a little.
Savannah, the host,
yeah.
drooling.
They love him.
Yes. Carson Daly was out of his mind.
Right.
He couldn't even believe it.
Yeah. And you said...
And I was like, what is wrong with him? What is going on with Hugh?
Right. And there's a lot going on with Hugh Jackman.
I was,
which you didn't know.
But I was picking up his vibe.
You picked up the vibe.
Yeah. So what's going on with Hugh?
Hugh Jackman has been in kind of like this. Okay, so backing it up, Hugh Jackman is married to a woman named Deborah Lee Furness. And they've been married for like 30 years.
Wait, her last name is Furness?
Yeah, it might be Furness. I could be saying all this wrong. Okay, just it's Furness. Okay. And they've been married for like 30 years. And about 2 years ago, they announced that they were getting divorced. But it was just kind of like lingering there, and it hadn't sped up until recently, where now Hugh Jackman is hanging out with this new woman who I think they're engaged, and her name is Sutton Foster. Okay, so back to the aura part. Hugh Jackman is green, indigo, and very purple. I mean, the guy is so purple.
Yeah. I mean, he does it all, right? He's like theater kid gone on steroids.
He's a 56-year-old theater kid.
Right.
Yeah.
He sings, he dances, he jump ropes.
Yeah.
He plays Wolverine.
Right.
He does it all.
And you could tell, like, the past 2 years he's had kind of like some lows. And sometimes you see him and he's like very emotional, and he gets very into his work, and he just promotes a lot of authenticity. I think that's his indigo. Like, he has a lot of lows. He's very sensitive. He's a lot of, I think introspection. He's green too. So you can tell he has a plan to these things. And I think that it's hard being a tricolor. It's hard being an indigo guy. So I think the green tries to come in and control the emotions. Okay. But then the guy's got some purple issues. And apparently one of them is a betrayal. So Deborah Lee Furness said just lately that basically he cheated. The exact quote was, "My heart and compassion goes out to everyone who has traversed the traumatic journey of betrayal." So everyone's like, "Oh my God, they did what?" I got to bring it back to that. Like, Hugh Jackman cheated him? He's so perfect.
Everybody loves Hugh. I mean,
yeah,
I love Hugh.
Hugh. I mean, The Greatest Showman's like the best movie.
Yeah, he was The Greatest Showman.
Yeah.
He was in Les Mis.
Yeah,
I think the movie version. Mm-hmm. So many things.
So many things.
How could Hugh do this?
So nobody knows how he could do it. Well, so I had to look at him and Deborah together. Right. So Deborah has a yellow and purple aura. And yes, she's older than him. That's true. But also, I feel like she has this sort of yellowness about her where she's more in charge. And I feel like she's been in charge in the marriage and the relationship. When they got married, he had nothing. and he's amassed this obviously this crazy fortune. By the way, they do not have a prenup, which is going to get messy. And seeing pictures, I saw a picture of them at the Met Gala or whatever, a few years ago, and he looks really indigo in this photo, but not in a good way. It's very dark and it's kind of muddled, and I feel like he's not supposed to shine as brightly as she does, and he feels like he has to make her center stage, not take away from that. So I wonder if in the marriage itself, he was very careful not to step out of line in her sight. And I feel like she also understood who she married in some ways, as you do when you're married to somebody for 30 years. You're like, okay, he's got, he's purple. He does his things. He gets really close to people. When he acts, he's all in. So that lady that he's with now, Sutton Foster, they were actually in the Music Man together on Broadway. They met years ago, and I'll get to her in a second. But I feel like the power dynamic in the relationship was very strong woman in charge, and he had to get away with things to feel purple or to feel free or to feel like he could do stuff. And then I also feel like he would. And this is not an excuse, whatsoever. But sometimes when we don't say what we want with our voices, we do things that we shouldn't do with our actions instead. So maybe ending it, earlier, or perhaps having a different type of relationship dynamic just wasn't going to work for him. He must have stepped out and did things to create the change. And everybody thinks, oh my God, does he suck? As a person.
Right.
And that's complicated. Two things can be true. We can make mistakes and not be horrific people, and I think with him, and I think we've all been there on different levels where we've done things with our actions because our words wouldn't, we wouldn't reconcile with the words that we needed to say it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. And I'm going to give my take on this.
All right.
Okay, so this is what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
I think Hugh Jackman is going to survive this.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why.
Why?
Okay. So there was another couple that we talked about on this podcast. It was also like on the highest of horses, and nobody touched them. And that was Ryan Reynolds.
Uh-huh.
And what's her name?
Blake Lively.
They were golden children, right?
Yeah.
But they fell. They fell hard.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is why.
Okay.
And that they fell, and then Hugh is not going to fall.
Okay.
Because Hugh is talented.
He's very talented.
He's so talented.
That jump roping was crazy.
He's so talented.
Yeah.
That he's going to be able to surpass this.
We'll all get over it.
Right. The other two, Ryan Reynolds, as I've said many times, he acts himself. He's one actor in all his movies.
Yeah.
He's not that talented. Blake Lively, zero talent. Zero talent.
Jeez.
It's zero. The talent level is zero.
Okay.
So when you have two people with very little talent and then they mess up, they're done.
Right.
And people recognize that.
Okay.
But I think Hugh was going to survive here.
You're okay.
And let's say he did do the betrayal. He might have. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But he's gonna survive this.
I think you're saying he is talented.
Yeah.
That's one. And two, he's indigo.
Yeah.
And the purple together in a guy. I feel like people are like, oh, like the puppy dog that made a mistake vibe.
Right.
Like, oh, he messed up. He's sorry. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I was looking at pictures from when he first got married because I think she was 40 and he was 27 when they got married. And in his pictures back then, he is so submissive and so much of a shell of an energy. His energy is so much brighter now than it was then. And I find it interesting because in those Met Gala photos I saw, it's like he was consciously trying to dim his light around her. But then in their old photos I saw when they first got together, he naturally had just a dimmer light. The guy just got. And I think it's just complicated. It's one of those things. It's unfortunate, but I got to talk about Sutton Foster because everyone's going to want to know about him. What's interesting is
I wasn't actually sure.
You're like whatever.
Yeah,
you're like Sutton, him, her. I don't know. It's a she.
I mean, Hugh. Yeah, sure.
She is purple blue. What's interesting about her is she's a very strong personality vibration I get from her. He goes for very strong women. He goes for women.
But there's no logic color here.
So she was married for 10 years and all of a sudden got divorced, and then he filed for. They kind of obviously stepped out together. This is if you just put two and two together. I don't know if this is true, but obviously the way it looks is that they both stepped out together in some weird purple moment. and maybe Music Man on Broadway was involved or something.
Yeah.
And here we are. And anyway, so she's purple blue. She's like a strong energy. She's very purple too, but she feels like she's very vocal. So he definitely goes for strong leadership type women. He likes that, which makes sense. A lot of empath guys do like stronger headed women, but she's purple blue too. So this could get messy.
They are an actual couple?
Yeah,
right
they're
now?
together.
Oh,
There's the picture of them together.
Oh, okay.
See?
Do you here's a question I have for you. Do you think before Jumanji time that one of them plays Zac Efron and he plays, and they do the Barnum and Bailey, that song where they both go back and forth about whether he's going to join the circus or not?
Oh, and whatever your vision and visualization of what they do is, Scott.
Because I for me with Hugh, I is he going to wear the Wolverine costume?
Scott,
there's a lot of things. I have these questions about that.
Yeah,
that's what I want to know.
I'm sure a lot of people do at Comic-Con, and you should hang out with them and have these combos. I don't even know what you're going at.
I don't know.
All right,
I'm just saying
they did what?
I'm just saying they did what? I'm just saying there's so much purple and blue and indigo here.
Yeah,
that there could be a lot going on.
It feels like it's going to be messy a little bit, especially now that Deborah came out and said the thing, and she's yellow. So I think she was also holding back her purple yellow receipt holding, because remember, he amassed a fortune and they have no prenup, and she was there for 30 years. So guess who's getting a lot of that? Okay. She is and should.
Okay.
And I think that she's just like, okay, cool, I'm done now. So something happened, and she's like, I'm over it, and I'm going full yellow, and you cannot escape my financial lawyers.
It's going to be tough going up against that yellow.
Nope.
All right. Our next, they did what?
What? As you know, I am a proud cat mom of 3 cats, and I was so sad to find out that one of my good friends was avoiding coming to my house because she has such bad allergies to cats. Well, this podcast is sponsored by Packagen. Owning a cat doesn't mean endless itching and sneezing, yet almost 20% of people suffer from cat allergies, and 3 in 4 people aren't happy with their current allergy solutions. Packagen's cat allergen neutralizing spray targets the allergens around your home that trigger your cat allergies and breaks them down so that you and your family can live and breathe in peace. Cats groom themselves a lot, but did you know their saliva is the main source of the allergens that trigger your cat allergies? So grooming means your clean cat, is now covered in allergens to shed around your home. Packagen's cat allergen neutralizing spray uses their patent-pending whisker block protein to bind to and neutralize allergens in your home. No harsh chemicals, no side effects, just spray every few days to keep allergens at bay. That's why 97% of Packagen customers feel relief and breathe easier around their cats. It's such a big deal. So I used it. I told my friend, listen, I'm using Packagen now. Come over. And she was really brave, and she did. And guess what? She did not have an allergy act up while she was at my house, and we all felt happy. And we're all good now. Your pets aren't just pets, they're family. So get the relief you need with Packagen. Head to Packagen.com/KYA for an extra 25% off your order and an exclusive gift for our listeners at checkout. That's Pacgen.com/KYA for an extra 25% off your order and an exclusive gift. One last time, that's Packagen.com/KYA for an extra 25% off and an exclusive gift auto applied at checkout.
Our next couple, okay, now this is a family. They're very down to earth, salt of the earth people, give you the shirt off their back. They're just so, how do I say it? I mean, in touch.
In touch.
They're so in touch.
Yeah.
They're so empathic towards the common person.
Okay.
They know how to bend things. They're very good at bending things.
Okay. Who is it going to be?
We have Victoria and David Beckham.
Okay. So on this part of they did what? I'm not letting it go. So what you have to understand is really quick. I don't follow these people at all. I know some people know everything. I know that she was in that band, Posh. She was a Posh Spice and the Spice Girls.
Yeah, I don't really know anything except I think he knows how to bend a soccer ball or something.
Okay.
Look, I'm going to be honest with everyone that's listening right now. I would skip this segment. Go to the next one.
No, this is a good one.
Oh, it's a good one?
Yeah, because
we don't know who these people are.
No, but that's the thing. I found this very interesting because of an article that came up, like a little bit of a family drama that came out. Okay. And I think that sometimes in a family, these little microcosms are really interesting to look at in terms of like aura and intrigue and like what's going on. And this is actually super relatable. Like for these people who are like multi-millionaires to have the same kind of drama that occurs at like the wedding you went to but last weekend.
Yeah. But they live such simple lives.
They do. Okay.
I don't know anything about these people. I don't even know what story you're going to tell me right now, but I'm ready.
Okay, so apparently Victoria Beckham, who is indigo yellow and purple, has some sort of issue with her daughter-in-law. And her daughter-in-law named is Nicola Ann Peltz. And Nicola is married to her son Brooklyn. Okay. All right, so Brooklyn's her son and Nicola is so apparently, and this just came out and I read a People article about it. There was the wedding that they had, and it was Brooklyn's wedding. Okay, Brooklyn to Nicola's wedding. And allegedly, I guess, they had Mark Anthony singing. Oh. And the first song, like the song where the bride and groom dance for the first time, was supposed to be sung by Mark Anthony.
Can I just jump in here for a second? Do you know that I was once at a Nathan's Hot Dog?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Nathan's famous hot dogs?
Yeah.
In Long Island. Uh-huh. It was me and my buddy Jamie. And Jamie is a goofball, by the way. More goofy than I am. And we're just sitting there eating our hot dog. And in the booth next to us was Mark Anthony.
Right.
And I think and I don't know this. I don't know anything. I think at the time, was he like with one of the Miss Universes?
Miss Universe.
Yeah, and he was with Miss Universe.
Yeah.
He was with J-Lo, right? Mark Anthony?
Yeah. Yeah. I think before that or after that.
Yeah, so this was Miss Universe time period.
Okay.
And first of all, I have to say, he was the littlest person I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
He was like tiny, like little. And
yeah.
I didn't even, like, Jamie's like, because like, you know how I'm on one end of the booth? You know how like booths are together?
Yeah.
So like his back is on like our hairs were basically touching.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was on the back, the back of the booth, and he was on the back of the booth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our hairs were touching. I kind of like rubbed it a little bit so I could get Mark Anthony's hair on mine. He had good hair. And, JB the whole time is cracking up going, that's Mark Anthony, that's Mark Anthony.
And they just looked like...
he was like goofing on him. Yeah,
they just looked like two regular people
at
Nathan's?
They were just like two regular people at
Nathan's.
Like
nothing special?
And of course, me, I'll be honest, I had no idea who they were. And I'm like, no, I don't know who is that? Who are you talking about, Jamie?
I wonder now. Yeah, I don't really know a whole lot about Mark Anthony except that...
Yeah. I don't know.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, I didn't know anything about auras back then, but I would have said they have a very demure aura.
Okay.
Like, he didn't give off any aura.
No aura.
No aura.
Okay.
Continue.
Anyways, so apparently he moved up in the world from Nathan's to performing at the Beckham's wedding. Okay. All right, so he's performing. He's supposed to perform the first song for Brooklyn and Nicola to dance to, and Mark Anthony allegedly is about to announce Nicola. So he goes, and he goes, all right, this dance is dedicated to the most beautiful woman in the room, Victoria Beckham.
They did what?
They did what? They did what? This is all alleged.
Okay.
So apparently, Victoria walks to the dance floor, and her son share an awkward, like, romantic dance to Mark Anthony singing. And allegedly, Nicola, like, ran out of the ballroom crying. And apparently, all of the guests were stunned and, like, abhorred and, like, in shock. And just like, oh, my God.
So Victoria and Brooklyn danced the first dance.
Yeah.
Instead of Ricola.
Instead of Ricola and Brooklyn. That's what I want to keep saying.
I know, Ricola.
I do. I want to keep saying Ricola instead of Nicola.
And was Bendit like Beckham there? He was there too?
Of course, yeah. Okay. I'm just saying. So, like, what's going on? And I guess, like, there's just constant rumors of family discord. Now, just what I was trying to say before is I didn't watch the Netflix documentary, and I don't follow them a whole lot. So just know that a lot of what I'm getting is just honestly looking at her picture right now. So when I look at Victoria's energy, she's indigo, yellow, purple. Indigos, and I never got the best vibe from her. I'm going to be honest. She does feel like a little out of touch. She does feel very much like a little about me with everything. Like her feelings feel very Like she's got to control her environment a lot. I feel like the indigo, but the shadow side of it, the ego hijacked side, definitely leads it. And indigos, when they can get ego hijacked, they can get very possessive. They can be very controlling about like who's in, who's out, how things are going down, how I want things done, and very controlling about like their emotions. And if they feel anything they don't want to feel, like energetically, they can be very, they can get like nasty about it and like cut people out. And she has the means to do things. Like she has the means to cut people out. She has influence and money and power and stuff like that. So I'm sure she does that a lot, you know? So that's just my vibe on her. Like I never got a great vibe on her. Now her husband, David, is a really interesting aura color for a man. He's yellow purple. He feels very much in charge of a lot of stuff. So I feel like with him, he keeps kind of like the family. He's got all these tattoos and things, and he was like a soccer player, but he feels like he's very disciplined. And I feel like he can hear her, because I feel like she whines a lot and talks a lot and has like, he's like, wah, 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 I need this, I need this, I need. And I feel like their marriage has probably worked this long because indigos also do not let you go. Like if you, indigo, good vibe, bad vibe, ego hijacked or not, like if you got an indigo, you got an indigo for life. Like they will cling to you. She knows like, David, you're not going away without me. You're not going here without me. You had better call me. You like, there's no, she's on top of him. Like
you say for indigos.
Indigos. Okay. Why? Yeah, obviously. I know myself. But she's married to a very handsome, like famous man. Yeah, I mean, and she's beautiful too. But I don't think she lets a lot out of her sight. Right. So my other thought is that's probably why their relationship works really. I don't even want to know what it's like to be married in that world. So I'm not judging. I just feel like she can be a bit of a clinger and maybe she has to.
So are you saying, just going back to this wedding song, alleged wedding dance or whatever, so are you saying that she wants to keep Brooklyn in her sights?
So I was getting to that.
Oh, I jumped the gun here. That's how up to date I am on the pop culture.
Yeah.
Okay.
So her son Brooklyn is purple blue. And I feel like she was just always used to kind of doing that to him. Oh, okay. And then what happened is he married somebody a little like his mom because Ricola, she's indigo purple. Okay. So I feel like what happened was it's indigo versus indigo. Okay. And the daughter-in-law is an indigo. And I'm going to tell you the daughter-in-law is always going to win. Right. You know, like you can't do this. And everyone who has a son listening is like, oh my God, this gives boy moms like a bad name. Like come on, you know, this is weird. It's weird. But because I feel like she's ego hijacked indigo, she's just extra clingy. And I feel like David ignores a lot unless it's, you know, for image or family or something like that. Cause they don't admit like they're having this discord. It's just all these stories coming out with it.
I mean, I have the chart in front of me. Yeah. And it's just so much purple indigo here. It's blue. Yeah. Purple. There's one logic color between all of them.
And it's David.
I
feel like he's just like running things. Yeah. And he lets them have their feelings in their bubble where they can all have their little things play out, but he's not. Right. He doesn't deal with a lot or hear everything. Okay. You know. Anyways, they did what? I don't even care about them that much. Like, I never followed them. They had a huge Netflix special. I never watched it. But I thought that was insane. Like, if that's true, which looking at her picture, I can totally see could be true. Like, if that's true, like, who does that?
Yeah, who does that?
That's weird.
I have no idea. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, this is what you've all been waiting for. We're going to talk about the open lives of Utah wives.
Like many of you, I was so sick of the mealtime arguments with my kids. It's just a reality. You're on the go. It's busy. They won't always eat what you cook, but you want to make sure they eat healthy. Well, this podcast is sponsored by Nurture Life. It's 2025. Are you still feeding your kids like it's 2005? Nurture Life is a meal delivery service focused on helping busy parents easily feed their babies and kids from 10 months old to 10 years old. The company provides fresh meals and snacks that are delicious, nutritious, and fully cooked. That means they are ready to serve in just 1 minute. Nurture Life lets kids enjoy a healthy, nutritionally balanced diet while still eating all their favorites like mac and cheese, spaghetti and meatballs, and so much more. So parents can be sure there's always something on the menu that their little ones will love. That's why Nurture Life is a top meal delivery service for babies and kids, and it's even allergy friendly too. Just this week, on a very busy dance night, we had corn dogs. Nurture Life corn dogs are my kids' absolute favorite. I think they could eat them 3 meals a day, every day. Using Nurture Life has taken so much stress and anxiety out of the process of feeding my kiddos. I don't have to scramble to make healthy meals for them and worry if my kids will even like what I'm making anymore. So what are you waiting for? Head to nurturelife.com and use code KYA for 55% off your first order. That's right, 55% off. Once again, that's nurturelife.com, and make sure you use my promo code KYA so they know I sent you. Even if you aren't a parent with young kids, but you know someone who is, make sure to share our code so our show gets the credit. We appreciate that. Hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys. All right, so now we're going to discuss the secret lives of moron wives. Okay. Season 2.
Right.
Let me just preface a few things.
Okay.
I did watch a little bit more of this season than season 1.
Maybe 35 minutes.
Maybe 35, maybe even 45 minutes. I'm not proud.
Right.
I'm dumber. I am. I'm going to admit it. I'm not as smart as I was 2 weeks ago. I do have to say this. Mm-hmm. If you go back, and please go back to our first one that we did, the first episode, podcast
episode 248.
248. I just want to say that I called it.
Okay.
They had this whole thing where they made a show, got everybody involved, that Taylor person.
Yes.
About swinging.
Right.
And there is, unrecorded on there, saying, these are not swingers.
Right.
There is no way these people play Jumanji.
Yes.
They do not swing. There is no swinging going on here.
You said that on episode 248.
Yes. It's clear as day.
Yes.
You can go back and check it out.
Yeah.
And what comes out in this episode? Basically, we had a couple of kisses on the cheek.
Yeah.
One guy was maybe dry, Jumanjiing someone.
That was a totally different incident.
Let me just put it this way.
You're just merging different things.
I'm just saying, these girls don't do anything.
Okay.
They're like middle school mentality.
Okay.
It's like, hee. I saw his hee armpit. That's where they're at.
Right.
And to them, swinging is a kiss on the cheek.
Okay.
And I knew that.
Right.
And I said it to everybody. I told everybody.
Yes,
so
you did.
I'm very proud of myself. And that is why I was willing to watch this totally empowering show for women.
Right.
About mom talk. All right, so we're going to start with Taylor.
So I'll just talk about their auras and then like season 2 examples of like what's going on.
Okay.
Oracally with them.
Sounds good.
Taylor is purple blue. Last season she's a little bit more victim blue this season. I feel like she's just really doing a lot of purple things, and then when she feels the effects, she gets very upset about it, but kind of at life instead of at herself, and just really feeding her own destruction. Like, I feel like with Taylor, she is on a cauldron in the pot and like throwing the logs under herself,
right,
all the time. And it's kind of hard to watch when you watch it. It's really hard to watch with her family because once you see like the scenes with her family, her mom's purple blue too, and her stepdad's like red purple. And like once you see her in the family, she's definitely got that scapegoat thing going on in the family. And it's like no wonder she picks relationships where she's not valued or whatnot, because they're shaming her a lot and making her feel bad for choices. Yet they're still riding her coattails on these choices. And then it was really weird to me that her mom got the facelift to look just like her.
Yeah,
that was creepy.
I actually asked you, is that the new member this season?
You did.
Of Mom Talk.
Yeah,
I thought she was one of them.
Yeah, you thought she was another mom.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Yeah, I mean, and it was kind of hard to watch the family. And then what's interesting is once, and anybody who's grown up in a dysfunctional, dramatic family notices this and sees this, but if you don't, then you're like, what a good mom or whatever. But there's a lot of drama. And then all of a sudden, instead of yelling at Taylor and telling her she sucks all the time, it's immediately to the other people. So it's almost like subconsciously when you're in a family like that, you want to stay in a state of drama where other people are the cause of it, so that your family rallies with you and goes against the threat instead of comes after you instead. So it's just a lot of her family does seem to back her up when there's drama.
Okay.
But it's just so toxic. It's so and anytime she was with her new baby on screen, it was like really upsetting.
Yeah, well, so I have two things. One, so there was that one scene they had like a barbecue in the backyard. I think it was like first or second episode.
Yes.
That's her stepdad that was like
That's her stepdad.
saying all these Jumanji accusations at her.
Horrible. Like you got into bed with them. It's like, ouch.
Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of purple, I guess you call it purple shaming. Right? A lot of purple shaming. And he took the side of the boyfriend?
Dakota.
Or they call him the baby
daddy.
Baby daddy, they call him. Right. So baby daddy, he took her. Okay, that's interesting. I thought that was her actual dad. So
well, he raised her.
He did? Okay.
Yeah.
That's creepy. I mean,
it's gross because that's his kid.
Yeah.
You know, for all intents and purposes. And even if it's not, like, you don't talk like that to somebody.
Yeah. Well, I had this sense of dread anytime I saw Taylor's scenes. Because she has that baby.
I know.
And she carries that baby around.
That poor baby's like
just flopping there.
Just clinging.
And he's picking up all the negative energy, too.
The
all the time.
energy.
But this is my fear, okay? And this is like a legit fear I have.
Yeah, you're not joking. Like, this is actually like something you get nervous about.
Yeah. You know how the babies are left in the backseat of the cars?
Yeah.
Like, I could just see that happening.
Like, that's what you get nervous about.
Yeah. No,
like, just...
Yeah.
That's a terrible thing to say.
It's terrible, but like that's like the type of person that will leave the baby there, all the windows are up, and then they leave the car, and then bad things happen.
Well, I think with the problem with Taylor and her situation is she has so much going on.
Right.
So much happening and no support, and there's like this whole show and everything's piled on her and it's all predicated on you're a hot mess. Like her entire career, her entire livelihood, how she feeds her kids and her family now is like, you have to be a hot mess.
Right.
So she's just fallen into it,
Yeah.
and it's just that it stresses me out.
Me too.
Having said that,
yes,
she's hysterical. And that scene when it was the Bake Off and she was like, oh, thanks. Everybody thought it was great. And then you see like the footage of her just transferring it into a dish.
Yeah, that was
she was like a store-bought pie or something. She just transferred. I was like, that's so purple.
Yeah.
And I'm so here for that.
Yeah.
So she's very authentic and she's real. And so I think that's why she has such a loyal following.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think all of us were kind of like watching the scene in the barbecue and be like, your family is bad. Like, they suck. Like, who talks to you that way?
Yeah, it's bad. And this message is for Taylor if she's listening, because I think she does listen to this podcast. I have a Santa Fe, a car, and it tells me to check the rear seat when I leave the car. Yeah. So she has I'm sure she's getting a lot of new brand deals.
Yeah.
So just get a new car that tells
like
you to check the
number
receipt.
One concern.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Next we have Whitney.
Whitney last season was victim blue. Like, she was gonna go prairie homesteading. She left Mom Talk. She left the group chat. She was gonna go off and be probably her own influencer. Like, in episode 248, I'm like, I think she wants to be the Ballerina Farms lady and just go homestead and sell her sourdough or whatever.
Right.
Well, obviously that didn't work out. It was way harder than she thought it was. So she's more yellow this season. Yeah. And she was like, I have to get those brand deals and I got to get back in Mom Talk and I got to be filming because that's where the money is. And I feel like she just totally reframed her entire life in the yellow aura.
Right.
And I found her to be kind of amusing this season. She kind of dresses the part, plays the part. She was staying out of the drama because the first half of the season, she was like very pregnant. Then she had the baby and she was just yellow. You could tell too. Like, everything was like strategy. She was like, she'd like go up to somebody and be like, I support you. Let me see how you're doing. Let me do this. Like, you could tell. And it was fine. And it was polite. And she was operating yellow because she's like, vote if I should be in it. And like everyone, like basically nobody voted her. And she's like, okay, no problem. I'll still hang out with you. It's like, that's yellow. Like, you're definitely compartmentalizing this. And it's a job now, not anything you're emotionally invested in on that type of personal level. So Mama needed to make some cash.
Yeah, I mean, so she definitely was trying to yellow her way back in this season.
I think she did.
And maybe she did, yeah. Here's a couple of things with her. These are my takes. One, I don't think she's that likable. Like,
right.
I think as a, to be all honest, I think as a person, she's just not likable.
I can see that.
And I don't know, she seems different than some of the other girls. Like, you're just not likable. Like, we don't want you around. You know, it's almost, it's kind of like, I don't know, what was that movie? This is going to be real. I'm not even going to go there because it's so mean.
She seems transactional to me.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's just leave it at that.
Okay.
But here's what I did pick up.
God knows what he was about to say. I'll find out later, guys.
I'll tell you later. Okay.
All right, keep going.
Okay, this is what I'm about to say. Every scene I saw her in, and again, I only watched 45 minutes, but she had the baby with her.
Yeah, she had her baby. Yeah.
I think, and at first I'm like, all right, I saw her one scene fine. She had
she's
the baby.
breastfeeding.
That's what you said.
Yeah,
that
like, she's breastfeeding Scott, so the baby has got to come.
Yeah, but then the baby was there all the
Right.
time, and like you don't have like another, someone that could just watch the baby
Well, if
for
you're
like,
breastfeeding, you can't, yeah.
but like for 10, like she wasn't in the act of doing that.
Yeah,
The baby was just sleeping.
I know what you mean, yeah.
So I think, this is my take, I think she used the baby. Again, remember she used the baby in the first season to make that video in the hospital.
Yes!
That gave her everyone gave her crap for that, right? That made her the villain and hated. And
Yeah, with
I
the
made a
RSV
video myself,
video.
I think, like where I dressed
Yeah.
up, it was her, and I pretended that, that was a baby.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she did it again. She did it again. She
You're
used
saying
the baby again.
It's like a shield.
As a shield. Like, you can't yell at a... It's like, when you're in court and you're on trial.
Yeah.
And you put on a nice suit.
Right.
Or you comb your hair in a certain way to make yourself look more, I don't know, like less guilty.
Yeah.
I think she used that baby in the same way.
Yeah.
So she's got the baby. You can't yell at a girl with a baby.
So you feel like it was a yellow strategy.
I think it was a yellow strategy to once again use the baby to get whatever she needed to get.
To look like more mom talky.
Right. And in this way, it's better than when she first did it when they were in the hospital. That was just like trash.
Yeah.
This way, it's like more subdued.
Right.
And maybe some people picked it up. I mean, our listeners
You
definitely
kept
picked
saying
it up.
and then I think
thought it was weird.
Towards the end, I was like, maybe you're right.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
All right, so those are the two people I know. After that, everyone looks the same. So this is going to be harder for me now because those two are
Those were most your hot takes.
right. Yeah, everyone else is basically the same person.
Okay.
All right, so we have next on the list we have Macy.
Macy's red purple, and in her red purple way, especially her red aura way, I feel like she's like, make hay while the sun shines. Yeah, figure this out. Last season she launched her baby vitamins, and this season she has a book deal.
Okay. And
with her, she's kind of rational, she's very logical, she's very calm, she's kind of even neutral at times. She's a lot of times the voice of reason. I feel like she comes into this trying to be a balanced energy and bring just role is without getting too and she's too smart, I feel like, to get involved in a lot of the producer drama, which we'll get into. The producer induced drama.
Right.
I feel like her role is more kind of touchstone, or she sees what they're up to. People know not to kind of mess with her, I feel like, too. Anyways, so that's my thing with Macy. And Macy and Michaela were really funny together this season.
I picked her out. But I just don't know. I don't remember which one she was. I don't remember what she did. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Michaela, I do remember because she got the turquoise going on this season. She had I don't remember her from the first season. Yeah. I don't even remember seeing her the first season. So I thought she was a new cast member.
Yeah.
But she got the turquoise going this
Last season, she was almost invisible.
Right.
And just like turquoises can get.
Yeah.
She had a lot of skin issues and health issues and stuff, and she was just kind of faded into the background. And she had a fight with Whitney, but Whitney kind of kicked her while she was down, And I said this once on the podcast at some point because somebody reminded me of, I guess on the podcast, I don't know what episode it was. You said what aura color would you least want to be mad at you? And I guess back then I said turquoise.
Okay.
And I stand by that. And I think you can see why you don't want a turquoise to be mad at you from this season. Because Michaela is do not F with Michaela.
Yeah.
She is her turquoise is back. It's full throttle. No, she was sharing a lot of her deep-seated traumas that had come to the surface, which was amazing. And I'm so proud of her. And I definitely know she touched other people, with talking about her abuse that she suffered and whatnot. So her voice is open and she's talking and she doesn't care. But she's Whitney, no, we're done.
Right.
We're never going to be friends. No. It's never going to happen. And she's just and just the way that you just sense that from her. Even Whitney's yellow is got it.
Yeah.
I won't try. And Michaela just, anybody that was coming after her, or she was just there with the zingers.
Yeah.
And she was just saying stuff. And it was just kind of hysterical in a way.
Well, she knew that baby was being used as a prop.
Probably. She has no sympathy.
Because you
she's
also
nope.
you have her down as yellow too. So
yeah, she's yellow too.
Whitney was able to weasel her way into with some of them, but not with her.
Nope, it's not going to work.
It
will
never work. Right.
She's done.
And even if she says it works at one point, it's still
she's done.
going to be there.
Yeah, it's forever.
It's forever.
But Michaela just kind of cracked me up. Now, did she go too far? Maybe sometimes, but like whatever. I think she just don't mess with me.
Right.
I will snap your head off. And she will. And it was like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, right? Yeah, I wouldn't mess with her.
No, she's the scariest one. But I find her very amusing.
Okay.
All right.
Next we have Jen.
So Jen and Zach, you know those two.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I saw them. They did a lot of meta talk. These two.
Yes.
They showed them. They did ketamine. They're big on the ketamine. These two. They love to just get some ketamine and then talk about their feelings.
Yes.
So love that. And she had my absolute favorite line of the entire show.
Okay.
Do you want me to save that to after your aura take on these two, or
no? Say it
now. Okay, so her and Zach were talking. I think Zach is maybe really Mormon. I don't know. Everyone else I don't believe is Mormon.
I think he's actually Mormon.
Yeah, I'm not even going to do my Mormon spiel at this point because I don't believe any of them are Mormon.
Yeah.
All right, so Zach might be, and he actually asked a good question. I know he's kind of skeezy and stuff, but he asked her, you're doing great with everything, but what do you really want out of this mom talk? What does this mean? You have these thousands and thousands of followers, whatever. And the answer she gave, I was laughing for at least a good 5 minutes.
Yeah.
She said, my goal for Mom Talk is to empower women and show women's empowerment. And I thought, it was so funny because it's so far from what it does. This show does. It's like the total exact opposite. It doesn't empower women. It's a bunch of women fighting with each other and ripping each other down.
I know.
It's the furthest thing. Mom Talk is the furthest thing from empowerment of women.
Pitting women against each other.
Right. That's like saying Andy Cohen is trying to empower women with the Housewives shows. Of course he's not. He's trying to tear women down.
Right.
This whole show, I don't know who produces this show, is about tearing women down. But it was so funny that she said, to empower women. And I'm sure the producers put that in there to make her look foolish. Like they do. But all right. So we have Jen and ketamine Zach.
Jen is pink, purple, blue, and she struggled so much this season. And Zach is purple, blue, but he wears he wears green. Like he's got a chameleon kind of thing going on. He was a little better this season than he was last season. I feel like they're just so toxic together. So Jen, to me, I feel like this entire experience for her, this entire show, is a big purple bomb to her marriage. Like, I feel like subconsciously she wants to maybe get out of it or do something different or just have some sort of change or change up her life or her role. But she's not in touch with that, so it really seems to manifest itself with just a lot of toxicity between her and her husband. And she's pink, so she kind of goes into this bubble, and then she ignores kind of the work she's done when the heat gets too hot, and then she just disappears, which is what she did with filming. She ended up disappearing.
Okay, so she did actually she wasn't in the second half, right?
Right, okay. And she was on some podcast recently, and she's getting accused of lying all the time, which I think what it is she'll just, because she was so trained to be submissive as a person, she doesn't know how to deal with confrontation. Except just to say, oh, yes, okay, in the moment, to anything.
Right.
And I feel like then later she's like, but I didn't say that. And it's like, you did, but it's hard to kind of reconcile with her, vulnerability of actually saying, like, I get scared when somebody tells me to do something or ask me something or a stronger person says something. So I just go with it. And then later I regret it. Like so I think, yes, she is lying, but I also feel like it's more of like a fawn kind of a fawning reaction to God knows what. So they're so tough to watch, and I really wish I hope they don't come back because they're so. I don't think it's good for their marriage to be on TV at all. At all.
Some people, it's just not good.
I don't think
for
it's
them to be on
good
TV.
for them to be on TV as a couple.
Yeah, she seems like someone that really probably shouldn't be on TV.
Yeah, she'll have enough problems, just in daily life. Right. Like she doesn't need for everybody to be watching it.
Like that Taylor, she could be on TV.
She's fine.
She could be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, baby,
I don't know,
please check the baby. Okay. All right. So, okay, and then all right. So move on to the next one. Okay. So this one, Layla.
Yes.
Okay. So this is hysterical.
Yeah.
The producer, I don't even know how to go about saying this, but the producers gave her a storyline.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? You're on, I don't know how many people watch this show, but thousands of people are watching this show.
Yeah.
And your storyline for the whole entire season, this girl barely says anything all season long.
Yeah.
And her one storyline is that she plays Jumanji and can't, when you finally get to the end of the game, can't say the word Jumanji to finish the game.
Yeah, and if you've been here long enough, you know what we're saying.
Right.
Because you got to call out Jumanji at the end to win. And she's never done that.
And she's never done that.
And that's her storyline.
Could you imagine that's your, like the producers, how evil are this production team?
Not just that.
That is horrific that you are known for this show as being the person that can't say Jumanji. Yeah, that's horrific to me.
She's the producer's stooge.
Yeah, she's the producer's stooge.
For more than that, though.
Yeah.
There was this, you didn't watch this episode, but there was this like pregnancy roulette game.
Okay.
But they do this with her all the time. And then they sent her at the end to go talk to Marciano, the guy who allegedly had an affair with two of them or something.
Yeah.
So she's definitely the one that knows. They're like, listen, you have no storyline except the Jumanji thing. And so you better do all the things we say and pretend it's your idea. And so I feel like she is the one that gets stuck doing the producer's bad deeds, like the pregnancy roulette or the Marciano meeting or like that kind of stuff.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it sucks.
What's her colors?
She's yellow blue.
All right, look, I'm gonna put this out there for Layla.
Yeah.
I'm going to say you need a better storyline.
Yeah.
If any producer's listening, come on. We have to be nicer to this girl. This is horrible. We can't let her go down with this Jumanji thing being the only thing she's known for and being the stooge. If you want aura readings as part of your next season storyline, I know an aura reader. We'll get you. We're going to elevate you. We're going to move you up. We're going to put you into a more positive light, and your story could be about aura readings.
Well,
and
usually
your aura colors.
Yellow blues do like to kind of stay under the radar.
Yeah.
So it's amazing she's even on this show.
Yeah.
So I feel like with her, like it would be hard for her to have another storyline that.
Sorry, Demi.
Yeah.
I'm not sure because there's she looks like exactly
Demi
like Ice. He looks exactly like Vanilla Ice.
Yes, you kept saying this.
And I said this maybe 100 times. He's Vanilla Ice. Is that Vanilla Ice?
What's interesting about when you think somebody looks like somebody, and I've said this before, like a lot, usually it's some sort of psychic message you're getting that they're like that person.
Okay.
So I think so if you kind of look into Vanilla Ice, he's kind of like, he was accused of stealing a song.
Right, a lot of stuff.
And whatnot. And I don't know what Brett's situation is.
Yeah.
But it seems to me like it's kind of, I don't know. Like Brett's a whole different thing. I'm not thrilled with his vibe. He definitely feels like he's a mansplainer. Yeah. He definitely has like kind of like, okay, just shut up, dude, kind of douche vibes. Like he bothers me in that way.
Right.
But Demi is purple and blue, just like Taylor. And I said this back in episode 248, and I said they're so alike that they have problems with each other. And it just really came to a head this season. I feel like Demi has a real issue when people are paying attention to Taylor, not because she wants them to pay attention to her. And she's saying, it's no secret I'm the fan favorite is something that she said. And it's not true. I think she wants to be Taylor in a lot of ways, and she doesn't understand like why Taylor has that influence. It is jealousy.
Yeah, jealousy.
And I feel like she doesn't understand that if one person gets abundance, that doesn't mean that there's none for you.
Yes.
So it does to me feel like she's trying to, with the help of her little Vanilla Ice partner, like play the game here.
Yeah.
But because she's purple blue, it's kind of like reading the front page news.
Right.
Like, we all know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not hard. You can't mask your vibe. Like, it'd be better if she just was, like, honest about it, but I don't think she's real with herself.
Yeah.
So anyways, I think that they trigger each other because they're a lot alike. Difference is Taylor can handle it, and she knows who she is, and she's embraced that she's kind of, hot mess purple.
Right.
And so there's not much Demi can say that's going to bother her. She's going to be like, okay, and what about... But Taylor will come back and say, what about this? And what about this? And what about this? And Demi can't handle that. How dare you say this?
Okay, yeah. So let's actually get something positive out of this. And so the purple blue for Taylor. And then we have Demi, the same color, purple blue.
Yeah.
You do have it down on the sheet, Taylor purple and the purple blue. You have purple first, and then Demi, you have the blue first, and then the purple.
Yeah.
So you're saying they wear this combo much differently.
Yes.
And for me, yes, Taylor looks like she's out there. She's like she looks to me like the true purple.
Yeah.
With Demi, she seems like a little more like buttoned up purple,
Yes,
right? And then then she has a moment of purple.
Yeah.
And then she does something kooky.
Yeah.
And then she brings it back to the blue. Am I getting that right?
Yeah. She's got like a lot of self-shame for herself.
Right. So I do something, and then I
Right.
bring it back to, I'm back to the blue.
Right.
Where Taylor does the thing, it's out there.
Right.
Okay, whatever. I'm going to do another thing.
Yeah.
Even more egregious than that.
Yes.
Okay. So that's where we're.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's
Isn't that
interesting. But that's what's making Taylor, I guess, the number one of these 9 or 10 people.
Well, she's authentic. She owns it.
Yeah, because as I saw the ad, the advertisement, she's the first one in the front, right?
Yes.
Taylor? So you're saying Demi probably wants to be the first one in the front.
It's like what triggers us and others usually has a lot to say about ourselves, you know.
Yeah.
So I think we're just watching that play out.
Oh, okay. And this all makes sense now. Because that's why she's hoping that Taylor gets kicked off.
Yeah.
Okay. So that she would be.
But Taylor's like the whole thing.
Right. Right.
You know.
Even if Taylor got kicked off, which I don't think that'll happen, but I don't think Demi would have the chops to be the number one anyway.
No.
She doesn't
but I
have
think
that.
Brett, her husband, is like very involved.
Right. You'll be the number one.
And he's like, oh, we'll just do this. Oh, and I bet they're pouring money into like PR and management. And they're like, well, we'll just out-organize Taylor, which isn't probably hard to do in like the PR world.
Right.
And like, Brett's definitely talking to producers. Brett's definitely like thinking he's making headway with the producers or you know, PR people or management or podcasts or whatever. Like Brett's probably thinking like, I'll just have a man-to-man talk, you know, because I'm Brett, I'm tall and I got a chiseled jaw. And like, I think with Taylor, she's just like flopping around, like, what's going on, you know? And but like as an audience, we all attach to that better,
right? Even
though you're gonna see Demi in your face a lot more,
right?
Because Brett, her husband, is really good at making sure she's on your Instagram and she's in the podcast you listen to, and she's showing up here, and they're pushing her storylines, you know. So you might see Demi more, like and the final storyline, by the way. Which, spoiler alert, like, don't listen if you haven't watched all of season 2. But, like, the whole cheating and Jesse situation, that to me feels so fabricated and so Demi, Jesse, PR, husbands got involved. Like, it just feels so contrived to me.
Yeah, well, yeah.
To try to shift focus.
Well, my take on that, well, just back to Demi, I think her problem is that she looks too much like everybody else, so that's her problem. Like she's like one of them. Like Taylor has a different look, more unique look. Yeah, we'll say that. Like you could tell her apart from some of the other ones.
That's true.
Demi just falls in. Like for me, she falls in line with everybody else. She's trying hard, like you said, but she falls in line. All right, Jesse's yellow, purple. Yes, and then Madison, the new one, is yellow, purple, blue. Yeah, but I guess my take. Sorry, the last two that we didn't have time, but.
We're running late.
Yeah. Well, my take on that is that Hulu, or whoever runs the show here, ABC, Hulu, I don't know who owns Hulu, Disney, the show that guy is from, that other creep at the end of the show.
Marciano. I'm totally saying his name wrong.
Or Marciano, whatever.
I might have renamed him just now Marciano.
Let's call him Marciano.
I don't know if that's his real name.
I mean, that guy.
I think it's Marciano.
Marciano looks like the biggest douche on the planet. He makes Brett Baby look good.
It is Marciano.
Okay, so Marciano.
I'm really proud of myself.
Yeah, and then he goes with, like you said, the producer stooge, Layla at the end. My whole take on that is like nobody's watching that show.
No.
Whatever show he's from.
Vanderpump Villa?
Yeah, nobody. If you can't, no one's watching Vanderpump Villa. Come on. I mean, really? You're watching Vanderpump Villa, people? Come on. Okay, nobody's watching. I think
they are.
Nobody's watching it.
No, Scott, I don't usually interrupt a red rant, but I think they are.
Okay. I don't think. Okay, so my theory is they aren't.
Okay.
And this is their one show Hulu has, and they're using it to promote that show. They want the crossover.
Again, the synergy. Yeah. And Brett's like, here, let's do this. Yeah. Let's get Jesse. Blah. Yeah. Who knows?
And what did she do? She kissed him on the cheek or something?
The allegation, Marciano says that the allegation is him and Jesse did things together.
No.
Went all the way. Called Jumanji.
Do you know what all the way means to these people? Like, they were on a couch. Right. And they dry Jumanji'd.
Well, I'm going to be covering this way more over on my Substack. If you want to hang out over there, I'm going to go a little deeper into this and really get into it.
All right. And I think maybe some of the guys, maybe you'll put their auras.
Yeah, the dad talk.
The dad talk guys.
Yes.
We'll put some of their auras in the Substack.
Yes.
Okay, so I just have to end on this.
Okay.
Now, nobody knows this.
Okay.
But I'm breaking it here.
Oh.
I'm going to break this right now.
Oh.
There is we'll call it Utah mom.
Okay.
Mormon wife, whatever you want to call
Oh, yeah.
it. That got cut.
Oh, I heard about this.
Was destined to be basically right up there with Taylor.
I heard
Maybe
about this.
even surpass Taylor.
She's very vocal right now.
She's very vocal.
On the socials.
Yeah, and she was supposed to be on the show. She had a problem with ketamine, so she got cut. But
yeah. She's spilling tea.
She's spilling the tea.
Her name? Do you know it?
I kind of do. You want to say the name?
Scott Taylor.
Scott Taylor.
You might want to check out
the cut Mormon wife.
Check out my IG stories. I may have reposted some of Scott Taylor's lost footage. All right.
Okay.
This podcast is for you and about you, and we're so glad you spent some time with us today.